Hi, I'm Lindy. We're back today to talk about maturity. We remember this word from our childhood when we were told that we needed to mature to grow up. And some people grow up and they really never do quite mature. And in some ways, that's good. Childishness can be playful and fun, it adds some whimsy. But in relationships, we really do need some maturity. And we understand what immaturity is, the person who doesn't take responsibility. I've been this person, so I'm not casting aspersions, but you know the person who does a lousy job cleaning and then blames the coffee maker or the vacuum cleaner for not performing well. Well, those are inanimate objects. If the coffee is bitter, it's because you might not have cleaned it recently. And if the vacuum isn't picking up things off the carpet, it might be that the bag is full. And rather than taking responsibility for it, some people just blame the machines. And since they're inanimate objects, they can't argue. We see them doing this with people as well who can argue but may or may not. But it seems like nothing is ever their fault. And this is not a healthy way to live. When children throw a fit, we call it a temper tantrum. And it is a temper tantrum. I've seen adults do the same thing. And you really get to a point in life, and I've done the same thing as an adult, but you do need to get to a point in your life where you can stop, take a breath, and say, okay, I need to deal with this. Some other places where maturity is incredibly important is in spending. And first, time. Do not overcommit yourself. That's actually a lack of responsibility and kind of an immaturity if you do not yet realize that you cannot get from home to work in 20 minutes. If Waze is telling you it's a 20-minute drive time, you need to allow 5 minutes on each end. And I've spoken with people in my life, my adult life, who just didn't get it. They're like, but it's a 5-minute drive. I'm like, which means you need to leave 15 minutes before you need to be somewhere. And it just never occurred to them. The idea that some people are just always late and the rest of the world is supposed to accept it and know that this is how they are. Or we can find somebody who isn't always late. That's kind of a sign of immaturity that they don't realize that it's their actions that cause the challenge. Same with overspending. Overspending for some people, I understand, we all live, hand to mouth at times, and money can be tight for a lot of people for different reasons. But for those who are overspending, it's a question of saying no to yourself. Same thing, I hate this example, with dieting. It's saying no to the cookie. Oh, so hard to do, especially near holidays. So hard. So, what do we do about maturity if we think we're lacking maturity, even in a certain area? You may be very mature at work and in your parenting, but you may not be mature in other areas. First, make a decision to never complain again. Oh my gosh, people, and again, I'm guilty, who are complaining years after the event. Let it go. Just let it go. Okay, you need to acknowledge it, own it. Hey, look, I tend to be immature when it comes to dealing with my family, or when it comes to, I can't stand doing dishes. I know people who just have dirty houses because they can't stand doing dishes, and it's truly just they're not mature enough to acknowledge they have a responsibility to clean their own dishes after supper. They just won't. And in one case, a woman I know, it's her 10-year-old daughter who steps up and does the dishes. I know another woman, her son has to wake her up in the morning so that he can go to school on time because she just doesn't accept the responsibility of getting up in the morning. I mean, I think it's great that these kids are responsible enough and they are kind of being forced into a maturity at ages where I wouldn't think they have to be that mature. But isn't it great that they are? Um, you need to accept whatever it is. After you acknowledge, hey, this is my challenge, accept it. Okay, this is who I am. But this excuse of, well, this is just how God made me, so I don't have to change. No, 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 no. You can see what other people do, how other people live. You can go to other people for advice. Hey, not only are you never late, but you're always early. Hey, your finances are always good. People will be more than happy to share their secrets and their habits with you. They would actually be complimented and thrilled if you were seriously listening to their ideas. You have to deal with it. You can't just accept the information and go, okay, fine. So that means make your changes and then move on. Okay? Make your decision to be more mature in whatever areas, leaving early, spending less, eating less, working harder, being consistent, instilling consequences, accepting consequences. These are all different aspects of maturity. And I know we all have the ability. And as we are showing maturity in our lives, we are modeling it for children, maybe coworkers, maybe siblings, but other people can see how mature we are and go, that's what I want to be. And pretty soon people will be asking you for your tips. And that's great. Now, other side of the coin, when other people are being immature, your job is to be even more mature, smile and nod, and do not meet them where they are because they're down low and you don't want to be there. So when other people are mature, just accept it, but don't give in to it. And go out and have a great day. I'm Lindy.